people have said that sometimes people find it expensive to come and pay 1,000 or 1,500 when we meet in a brick and mortar space. And then also the traffic, people come late when the session is over. But when we do it online, you're able to access it from your device, wherever it is that you are. And then if you miss it, you registered, you can always go back to our Facebook page and all the broadcasts are there. We also get to put it on the YouTube channel, so it's available and accessible for you. And the reason I have these conversations is because one of my mentors told me, I also have mentors and coaches, and one of them told me that as a founder, your passion, your vocation, or your expertise, which is the foundation of starting your business, is made up of 15% what you need to make the business grow. So that's your competence, your capacity. So 85%, which is business and professional development, you'll have to continue acquiring or hiring people to support that. And when I talk about hiring, it's not necessarily full-time staff. It could be consultants you're hiring over a period of time. Like I have mentors and coaches all the time because I believe in support. I don't like working too hard. But the other thing I've discovered about founders is that we struggle. And the reason we struggle is because we don't seek support. In life, you need support, all right? Even the Bible says that it's not good for man to be alone. That means you're not going to make it alone. It also says that one can put 1,000, one can chase 1,000, and two can put 10,000 to flight. So that tells me that the way we are made, we are supposed to be interdependent and not so independent. And I thrive on getting support from mentors and coaches. And when I talk about mentors and coaches, it's a heavy investment. So in my budget, there's always a professional development budget for mentors, coaches. I travel out of the country to get the help I need. So I encourage you also, have a mentor, have coaches, but be willing to have it in a structured way that you invest in the parts that you need to grow so that it's done right, you grow right, you thrive and become profitable. So this month we've been talking about visibility, and we have a program going on right now called Founders Visibility. It has been running since Monday. And the reason we have it is to help founders realize how they can be online and how they can grow their visibility online and offline, because a lot of businesses are started out of a growing demand, but the founder does not set up a plan or a strategy of how to keep growing. And we found that marketing is one of the things, which is visibility. So we call it visibility, but inside visibility, there's advertising, getting your strategy and your system to attract clients and to generate cash. So we have that program going on right now to help founders. And the reason we have it online again, because founders have limited resources of time and money. So having it in a brick and mortar building, the hotel, most of the money goes to the hotel so that you can have lunch and 2 teas. And I'm like, do you want food or do you want competence to grow your business? So online, you can access it once you register for the program. You can access it anytime, anywhere. You can access it with your team for a small fee of 1,500. And if you came to the brick and mortar building, people will start late. You can't bring your team. Everybody you bring, you have to pay for. So we find that online is a fantastic way to reach more people in a very affordable way. So what's the program this month, like I said, is Founders Online Visibility, and it ensures you are profitable because there's a 3-step system I share in the program. I call it your attract, convert, and retain strategy, which is something that I have, all the things I have learned around marketing, I have put together. So how do you attract ideal clients? How do you know who your ideal client is? All right. So we have a program that will help you clarify your brand identity, your brand vision. Your brand vision is very different from the corporate vision, which we write on the walls. So we clarify your brand vision because that is the essence. And as a founder, there's the essence of why you started that business. We help that come out in your marketing, which is very appealing to your target audience if you do it right. So we make sure that you can be easily found for good, all right, and mentioned for good. We show you how to attract leads, because many times people think I have so many followers on Facebook, but followers are not necessarily money. Leads are money. because a lead is somebody that has given you their contact because they want what you're selling. And it's a very intentional process that we take you through in the Founders Visibility Challenge. Today is day 4. Today, and then in the morning you get your video. In the evening, I come live on Founders Zone, our closed private Facebook, and I share some more techniques. Tonight, I'll be sharing the tools that you need to use on the three online platforms, because you can group all the online platforms in 3. There's online platform, the search, and then there's display, and there's video. So search ensures that when somebody is searching, you come up. So people don't search for you as Frida Owinga, your name or your company name, because they don't know you. They search based on the solutions that you provide and the conversation that is going on in their mind. So the first online platform is search. When we search, can we find you? Then there's display. Display is your website, and the third-party platforms, Twitter, Facebook. Your website is your home base. A lot of people feel that when you have a Facebook page, that's enough. But no, my friend, you need to have a website, because you have control over the leads that you generate from your website more than the leads that you generate Facebook. On the third-party platforms, the way data analytics is now, those third-party platforms have control over your followers. They decide who sees you when, based on algorithms and what you're posting. And if you post too much business-like stuff, you keep getting an automated message. If you boost this post, you can reach X number more people. But don't you ever wonder, like I have 5,000 people on my profile. I can't accept any more friends. And I get that boost thing, tells me, spend $20 and reach 1,000 more people. No, I want to reach my 5,000 who already chose me. All right, but that you come to the program. If you sign up for the program, you'll get to know more about that. The beautiful thing is that even if you sign up today, you will still get the videos from day 1. And after this week, the price goes to our regular online prices at 2,000 shillings. So you have a window to jump in at 1,500, get all the videos, get into Founders Zone, and access the live sessions that I've been doing every evening inside the Founders session. And then the also a bonus on Friday, tomorrow, we have a practical live session at where we're going to Google Kenya. Google Kenya is sponsoring a half-day session, 9 to 12, to show people how to do Google ads. So that is something that if you sign up, you still have an opportunity to get into. But now I want to invite Suzie now, and Suzie is, I'm gonna unmute her and open her video here as I introduce her. I'm really excited to have her come on board with us. And Suzie, fantastic, there she is. I'm just gonna introduce Suzie. It's fantastic to have Suzie. I'm sure you all have heard about Suzie Beauty. Suzie is the founder of Suzie Beauty, Kenya's first beauty brand and a global trailblazer in creating a bespoke product for the African woman by an African woman. I'm like, wherever you are, please just clap for this lady, all right? She's an international. Yeah, I think you've done so well. You've really done well, Suzie. I'm so proud to have you here. And she's an international relations degree holder, intensive media makeup. She has an intensive media makeup certificate course from the Award Studio Makeup School in Los Angeles by MAC Cosmetics. And you don't need to buy MAC anymore. You can buy Suzie Beauty. I use Suzie Beauty. I love their products because I feel natural and I still look good. She has been with the New York fashion industry and beauty industries from 2001 to 2007. And today she's just going to be sharing her story with us. And I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to make sure I look at the time here to make sure that we are on time. Good, we have good time. It's 8:47. And Suzie, I'm just going to unleash you to tell us about Suzie Beauty. How do you started, how the journey has been, and we'll just continue having a conversation around that. Those that are watching online, if you have any questions, just put it in the question and answer box, and Suzie will be able to answer that. So Suzie, you're welcome. Tell us about Suzie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Thank you. You can go ahead.
I start where the the Suzie Beauty journey began?
Yes, that would be a good place to start. And anything you want to share with us, the challenges. People normally talk about the challenges. I like the celebrations. So you can tell us both. Carry on.
Sure. Okay, so well, Suzie Beauty was created out of a bit of a frustration situation.
Okay.
I'll start from the beginning. I was definitely that little girl who would play with her mom's lipstick, and I was sort of always interested in fashion and beauty. After graduating college in international relations, which I never quite did anything with, but I never discount the college experience. If for nothing else, I'm just adding to the bucket of whatever I was meant to end up doing.
Okay.
And so then, I got into the fashion and beauty industry. I was in the US, finishing college, and then went to work in corporate America just to learn what it's about and see what I can do. And found my sister worked in New York. I was in California. She worked in New York, and she had this really fancy life doing working for big brands like Giorgio Armani and Liz Claiborne, like just like amazing brands. So, and she had this fancy, glamorous life, and I was like, yeah, that looks interesting. Let me go venture into there. So I actually did. I moved over to New York, and went to play in the fashion and beauty spaces. I found out that fashion means many things. Fashion is clothing, it's accessories, it's eyewear, it's cosmetics. And I did dabble in each one just to see what I actually liked and what I could do. So yeah, that's where I found my true love for beauty and what I wanted to make a career out of at some point if I could. So many years later, moved back to home to Nairobi, and found that like you said I have a certificate in media makeup. So that was my interest in working in media makeup, which is doing, you see the beautiful women on the covers of magazines, or like the anchors on TV looking great, like, so that's media makeup. So we are behind the scenes doing that, runway makeup, all that. So that's where I sort of landed at home to do. And there was a very small industry at the time inside of makeup artistry, very few professional makeup artists. So it was very easy to come in and hit the ground running and make a name for myself. So inside of there, I did come home with a full suitcase full of makeup, like from all sorts of brands, and coming to the point where I needed to start replenishing my product, where I've run out of this lipstick or that foundation and this type of thing. Where do I buy? Came to find out that yes, all the products that were in the retail space were imported and way priced. So after a few months of trying to do that, I realized that this is not sustainable, whereby for my work and then also for myself, I wear makeup almost every day. And I could not be the only one suffering like this. And I can't, no, it was unaffordable and just unsustainable. So I woke up in 2009 one morning in January, and I told my husband, you know what, I'll just make my own. Now come to the process. One of my best friends, she tells me that like, you can't remember in like 2004 when we were in New Jersey, you told me one day you'll have your own brand. And I'm like, no, I can't remember that. So obviously it was always brewing in my head somewhere, and I blocked it out. So then that's where Suzie Beauty was born. I decided to create a brand of product. And it could also be, it could also have been a situation where I just import products like everyone else was doing, and that type of thing. But coming from the makeup artistry background and like, the beauty space, I knew I wanted to create something. Found out quite quickly that nobody's ever done it before, done makeup in this country. So that's what makes it Kenya's first beauty brand. So I was doing something from scratch, from nothing, and trying to, but with no fear also, just because I guess I like passion. Passion, profit, yeah.
That's your
Passion means a lot. I completely love everything about beauty and everything about Africa, and it's actually like what I know best, like doing beauty, anything beauty related. So I started creating the brand, and I say it was a 3-year long process of creating the brand, because it started off with, now year one was R&D, research and development, creating this product, which I kind of always knew that was going to happen. I mean, that was the funnest, easiest process for me, was creating the brand and the product, creating the logo, coming up with the colors of what the brand is going to look like,
I love
coming up with that was so fun for me as a creative. That was really the funnest part. So 1 year later, had a bag full of products that I've created and named and logoed. And then year two, I actually spent a lot of time testing the product on my clientele, who I hope will buy this product one day. And realized very quickly also earlier on is that I couldn't manufacture locally because nobody has done it. So it would be reinventing the wheel for no reason. Because I'd have to import every single raw material, every single machine that I would need, create, a factory or a workshop. And so expenses, of course, would go through the roof. And I knew early on that I would need money to finally launch this product into the market. What would have happened if I decided to manufacture locally is just like maybe quadrupling my budget, which was already very high. So so I went looking for contract manufacturers around the world. I actually do. I mean, fortunately, my husband was working full time at the time, and we could manage to travel to a few different countries to find these manufacturers who understood that I've created this product. I just need you to mass manufacture it. I don't need what you've created. I don't need what's in your showroom. You're just doing this thing times 1,000 or whatever. So found the people, got my product sort of put together, and then spent my second year testing it, and then and tweaking, perfecting, deciding what I want to actually launch in the first place. Now, I said I was working in the media makeup industry. That means I was working with a lot of media people. So PR started very early in the game. I started doing interviews before I even had a sample to show, where people were like, oh, Suzie Wokabi is going to have her own products. Yay, we're going to have products from her. Which was like 2.5 years later, but the first article that was written about me and about the product was in 2009, September. I actually have it framed somewhere.
Because at home or abroad?
All here.
Wow. Okay, that's important.
It was actually a nation newspaper interview, and it was Suzie is coming up with products for us. Like it will, like we don't know when, but it's
on the way.
And then it's a effect with media, because now then somebody else, Standard wanted to write about me, and then True Love wrote about me, and then Drum wrote, like so. And I've never said no to any interview, I think, ever in my life.
I like that.
10 years. I've never done any paid advertising because
You've never
of
done
this.
Any paid advertising?
I've never done any paid advertising ever, no.
Exactly. I'm going to note this point down. Good.
Yeah. Because it's unaffordable as a brand new business, a startup with the marketing budget. That's not where it's going to. It's going to, creating product and maybe sponsoring events and that type of thing. So I did a bunch of those also. Now year 3, I'm going to get into year 3 when I was finally being like, okay, now I'm also ready to launch. While everyone in the market is irritated and waiting for this product that I've been talking about, I had to fundraise.
Yeah.
So that's where the investment bit came in. So I had to look for investors.
Yes.
At that time, that was in 2011, I was looking for about $200,000 to be able to launch this product into the market. And
Wow.
now, going to banks was useless. I tried that. All they
What were the banks
know,
telling you? Out of curiosity,
huh.
what did the banks tell you?
Oh, they laughed. They laughed me out of the door many times. And I like, they're like, yeah, give us collateral, give us your bank statement, like all that stuff,
Yes.
your business plan, and blah blah blah. And I kind of had all those, but still,
Yeah.
startups at that time were just like looked down upon. Like we were pariahs. Like you
We're
haven't made
still
anything
looked
yet.
down
What do
upon.
you want me to help you? Like, no, show me
Yeah.
the numbers you've already achieved. I'm like, I need the money in order to make those numbers happen. So
Exactly.
that was many tough conversations and a big learning curve.
Yeah.
And then at that time, there was also this like surge of investment groups, chamas,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they had sort of formalized themselves and become like registered companies. And, there's 20 of them and they're all like in the board and whatever, and trying to invest in new businesses. So
Yeah.
we pitched to a bunch of them.
You're kidding me.
And
I
no,
need to
like
know
the
that.
number of pitches I did, like, and it's this thing of you do a pitch today, you're like we got offers from maybe 90% of the pitches we did. But you
Yeah.
watched Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, like that, where
Yeah.
the investor is, oh yeah, no, I'll give you money, but then I want 90% of the business or whatever, But we were also very, very sure about our boundaries, what we were not giving away from the company.
Yeah.
If we're getting an equity partner, this is the maximum that we're of a percentage of the company that we're giving out, and we were very clear about that. So we were
Uh-huh.
happy. I mean, not happy to, but we ended up doing a lot of rejections. We rejected many.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm like, oh my god, I need to launch this product, but still, no. It's a big picture story. So
Amazing.
had to say who people who are willing to give us money. So did that. So it was a full year process.
4 years
Just trying to
before you
get
got the money?
a full year of pitching, getting offers, rejecting offers, accepting offers. Something fell through. Da, da, da. But so it was
Wow.
actually at the end of that full year is when we finally settled on 2 investment groups. And
Okay.
then through their with their clout, almost, I'm going to say, we managed to also get a bank loan to top up what we were missing.
So it
So
was
yeah, 3 different
it was a mixed bag of investors.
a mixed bag completely. So 2 of them were equity partners. They're actually investment groups that got what with the maximum that we were willing to give away, so which was good. And then
Okay.
the rest came from a bank.
Amazing.
So
That's really
that
good
was
to know.
its own animal. And yes, so 3 years later, I finally launched the product into the market. And so to date, we've been retailing for 7 years. We launched the product into the market, into the shops in 2012. So that
Okay.
means 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 7 years. Because we're in 2019
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yes. But the brand it's been 10 years in the making.
Yeah, you must count that all the time you're in the dark working, which I think is so important because many times we just see Suzie Wokabi and we think it's an overnight success. So I really like that you're sharing, the behind the scenes stories, how you are
Did you
traveling, making no
out
money.
after that statement?
You know, go ahead. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been definitely a journey and a half on its own, which I always say, which continues.
I love it. I really like it. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. I'll just have some follow-on questions for you. I like when you
Okay.
said that when you started, you did a lot of R&D, research and development, and then after that, you enjoyed that part. But those were like the years in the dark. So Did you have some savings that was helping you with that? Were you working on the side? How was that time for you financially? Because a lot of times people feel that if they've started a business and they're working, they keep saying they can't invest in their business. And I'm like, whatever money you have, part of it you should invest in the business. So can you just shed some light there for us, please?
Sure, sure. So one smart thing I did was have my husband be my co-founder. So, and he was working full time at the time. So very
Okay.
helpful
Okay.
for us to, live and eat and breathe.
I
um,
like that.
that was definitely helpful. And I'm going to say he's the first investor in the company plus co-founder. Right? But
Found
yeah, so and I'm also still working as a makeup artist in the industry. So that
okay.
was me. And then the rest was just do or die,
I
and
like that.
completely just diving into it. And because I knew that this was what was meant to happen, I had very few fears. It's very
I
weird,
like
like
that.
and that I guess like and I have three P's. This is like 7 P's. My three P's are passion,
There's
patience,
three
and
P's.
perseverance.
Okay. Can you please put up your volume? It's like your
Oh,
volume went down. Turn up your volume a little bit and tell us the three P's.
okay. My three P's.
Great. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Yeah, my three P's are passion, patience,
Okay.
and perseverance. Without those
Passion,
three,
patience, and perseverance. Uh-huh.
I would have faltered on day 4. Because there's a certain level of, I mean, you get so many letdowns. Then the next morning, like I'm like, oh my god, this is the end. Like, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore. The next morning, I wake up and I'm like, okay, great, great. Now I need to call whoever. Now I need to go. Now I need to do, and without even remembering how sad it was yesterday. So yeah, there's a very different level of patience and perseverance that you gain as a
I like
passionate
that.
entrepreneur.
I think your story reminds me of somebody going to have a child, because when you're pregnant, then you think about holding the child in your hands. And sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're sick, your feet are swollen, you're tired, but you keep
You
going
have
on
morning
because of the joy
sickness.
that is in your hand, that you are going to hold
Yeah,
in your hand.
exactly, exactly.
So
So the
I
end goal are not in sight.
okay.
Yeah.
I, I really like that. This is a really good story for founders, because oftentimes we lack the patience. We have a lot of passion, but I find very little patience and perseverance. Sometimes when I'm working with clients to get their brand ready, because what we do is help you produce your brand and then package it and then promote it. So in the process, they're like, Frida, I paid you because I want to make money. I didn't come to school. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want all this. But I'm like, you need to be in touch with your brand. You need to know the people who are interested in it. It's your business. We need to get your essence into it. You can't dump everything on my table, pay me money, and go. So it's always such an interesting
A
conversation.
100%.
You
And be
know,
willing, be ready, willing, and able to fall flat on your face many times and pick yourself up and keep going. What you've just said is the reason why 95% of startups fail in the first year.
and
That's
that
that's the reason.
I agree. I think the lack of perseverance, we are failing more for lack of perseverance than for access to capital. Because I think the perseverance will get you to the capital. Because there you are.
Exactly.
Mhm. I like that
And
story.
I mean, even when I was
Go
a
ahead.
makeup artist, I would tell my trainees, if you're doing this for money, just stop now, because the money it will come, but it's not going to come. It's not this second. It's not this
No,
instant. Trust me. You have
absolutely.
to paying your dues is fact. Like for anything, all those cliches are true. Like hard work pays off. Like you will not benefit unless you like
No,
all
they're
those
not
things.
just,
Like
I I like that.
And
They're not just
yes,
cliches. I like
tried,
that.
tested, true. Yes, yes, yes. I
I
testify.
like, I like that. And then I really like what you said about when you were starting, you had the support of your husband. And I think many times as business owners, we don't have support or we don't know how to ask for that support. So it's so beautiful that you and your husband found a way to work together. I have had a lot of support from my family, especially my sisters, while we evolved the company and all that. So are there any tips or inspiration, some wisdom you can tell us about getting the support of loved ones during the time when you're growing? What are some things that you can recommend us
Support
how to?
system is if it started with a P, it would be one of my 4 Ps. um, like if my parents weren't there for me, how they were. If my husband wasn't there for me, how he was. If my friends weren't, this would not be on. This would not be happening. I would not be here. I'd be working as a M-Pesa lady or a bank teller or something. I don't know.
So
Like
funny.
without those guys,
Yeah.
no, forget it. And it's a daily thing. Um, those days when it's so dark and evil and you don't want to wake up the next day. In fact, there were times where I say, not only did I not want to like get out of bed, I wanted to get out of bed and go under it and hide, like from the evil world. But still, the passion,
Yeah.
the patience, perseverance, and then the support system, like just keeps you going. That's what keeps you going, for sure. What also will how to get your support system believing in you is your passion for this thing that you're doing, and for them
Yeah.
to buy into it and understand that you know what you're doing and you love what you're doing and you're going to make this happen. You're willing to work as hard as it needs to be to get
Yeah.
this thing done. And they're going to support you,
I
and you
like
need
that.
it. God knows you
I
need it. Yeah.
So everyone listening out there, remember, you don't have to be a ninja, a superhero, and die on your own. Suzie has given us
No,
permission to get support. So go
for
out
sure.
and get the support that you need. So, because a lot
Yes,
of times people say, oh, if you're your own rescue plan, you have to do it yourself. So I like that you encourage us to get support. And then this
absolutely.
month, I like, and that this month at Passion Profit, we're every month we have a theme, and this month our theme has been visibility, online and offline visibility, how to be visible to attract more clients. And I like that you
Yeah.
said you have never paid advertising, which is so
No.
exciting for me. So I'd just like you to share some tips with that on visibility, on how to get what there. I like what you said, and maybe you can tell us again that you started getting in the newspapers and talking about Suzie Beauty even before you started. A lot of people are always afraid, they're always waiting for perfection. But you were bold enough to, to just get out and start the story. That shows that's a lot of guts, and well done.
Kind of, I guess, but that completely made sense to me from the beginning. So I'm like, oh, you want to write about me? Then thank you. Yes. How much better it is for you to have a full page newspaper article as opposed
Yes.
to paying 300,000 shillings for a page of your photos or whatever, photos of your product or whatever. This
Yeah.
article has the insights of the entire brand and what it means and why it exists and so much more information.
Yes.
So and then that spillover, it does happen. Everyone would be like, oh my gosh, how much do you pay these people to write about you? I'm like, I never pay any. No, I don't. And there's once in a while, like even today, to date, somebody will be
Yes.
like, oh yeah, we'll write about you, so but you pay this much. I'm like, no, why would I ever do that? I'll just wait for the right person who wants
Yes.
to write about my story. They need content. I have content to give.
Lots
They're
of
going to
rich content.
publish my story.
Yes.
No brainer, no brainer. Then social media is king. If I did not have social media going, I would not have a business.
Wow. What are some things you did on social media that we can try our hands in?
So I used to pretend to know how to do it by myself, and of course, like didn't quite work. So I would in the beginning I would get like
I like
consultants,
your authenticity.
interns. people who understand it. Like what I do one post by myself,
Yeah.
and it gets like 28 likes. That same person, I mean, that person who knows what they're doing,
Yes.
will do a post, which is I feel like it's similar to what I did, and then 750 likes or whatever. Like I'm like, how did you do? How? You know what? I don't need to know. You know your job. Me, I know
Yeah.
my job.
That's it.
I'm hiring. And I tell new entrepreneurs, please invest in the correct places. I'm going to list those places that if you're
Good.
starting a business, you're doing a business.
Yes.
Okay, marketing. If you're not a marketer, if you don't understand marketing,
Yes.
hire somebody who does, or get a consultant who can. And for the most part, like, you'll work out a budget, like you'll work out. But if you don't know that thing, don't try to do it. Then okay, these ones are not an option. Legal
Okay.
and finance.
Legal and finance.
Invest in those. Yes.
All right.
Whatever little money you get every month, those people, you're not a lawyer. You're not an
No.
accountant. You're not a CPA. Get the person who is to do that job. It's going to hurt you if you don't. Cheap is expensive. So
I agree.
don't be a jack of all trades, master of none, right? So like, so those ones, legal, finance, and then
marketing.
now in this day and age, it is social media. It is social media investment. There's
Yeah.
people who are social media managers. I have a social media manager. I don't
That's right.
understand it as well as that person does. And I won't get enough out of it as this person will. So, what are you doing it for if you're not getting something out of it, right? I know my
Exactly.
job. I'm
Yeah.
chief creative. I do product really well. Nobody else can do that. I do,
No.
my PR well. Nobody else can do that for me. Nobody else my face like that. I'm the person. So I know what I know, and I know what I can do and what I cannot do.
I like
And to
that.
recognize that is very, very important as a
Amazing.
founder, as an entrepreneur.
So know the things that you need to do and can do well and stick with those. But we must definitely consider investing in marketing, legal, and finance. Those I'm glad I'm on track, because I have my mentors are always marketing on salespeople. I have a legal guy and we have a finance person. So that's
Awesome.
So anybody listening, I hope you took notes about that. Go ahead. You're going to say something?
You're doing good. You have the right people behind you.
That's my success team. I really like that. And then you talked about part of that. You didn't do any paid advertising, but you sponsored some events. What kind of events were you sponsoring, and how did you make decision? Which event should you sponsor?
So initially, because so I had it was me and a small makeup artistry team, and we would literally go behind anyone who would allow us to be backstage at a runway show. There were all these fashion events happening at the time as well. We would not get paid for the work that we're doing backstage, but we get all the publicity from their publicity.
Okay.
Right? So you see like Nairobi Fashion Market, and then they have these billboards all over Ngong Road and in town and whatever, and my logo is there. So everyone's seeing Suzie Beauty, Suzie Beauty, Suzie Beauty. And then on the days of the events, we're there backstage, we're, making up other people, selling our products even, front stage. So using that platform was very, very helpful for me, especially in the beginning. Now we don't do so much of that because we don't need to.
Yeah.
But yes, that was very, very helpful in the beginning. And then me and my big mouth talked all over anyone who would ask me to speak somewhere where I can speak the word of Suzie Beauty, I would say yes. I would, if I have to be somewhere at 5 a.m. or 10 a.m, or, at KTN on the morning show, or like Capital FM, like wherever it was, I would be wherever they asked me to be.
I love it.
As professional as possible, speaking the Suzie Beauty word, and that's how the word got out there. Also, any interview I'm given, even if it's a little blog, somebody, a new makeup artist is writing about products, and they ask me to do an interview, I will do it. I've been on global stages all over the world by now. Like I've been in Europe, in the US, at Harvard University, in Dubai a bunch of times. I just came from this year. I've done Dubai, Amsterdam. I came from India 2 weeks ago. So just anything they ask me to do, I will do. And for the most part, like if you get these speaking engagements, that's what I use my PR for as well. And for the if a must, I barely ever pay for myself to be at the place. They need me. They need the content as well. So just even recognizing that, yes, and please, yeah, you're going to pay for my air ticket and my accommodation and whatever.
I like that.
Or, I mean, they already offer it even before I ask for it. So, yeah, so just using as many platforms as you possibly can. Don't be shy about it. Don't be shy about talking about your brand and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And where, even when I was, people respect me for. I'm crazy enough to have started a family and started, the business all at the same time. So I had babies when I was traveling around.
Wow.
Both when they were 6 months old had to take a trip with me because I was breastfeeding. That's only the food that they had. So I had to, like, my son Maceo, I had to go with him to Addis. I was backstage at a show. I had to take my mom. So when I'm not done breastfeeding, then I go finish like doing the model's makeup. And I had to go to America with my second son Nate when he was 6 months old. So 20-something hour journey to North Carolina to speak, because I'm speaking the word. So you know what, sacrifices were made, and they pay off. Somebody's like, oh my gosh, like I saw you at Junction with a kid, like in those kangaroo pouches that you carry the baby in, like giving out flyers, talking about like, go to my cart, like I have a shop now, and like so those, yes, just out of passion and out of love, and out of building this, which I did. Yeah.
I'm glad you did too, because we look up to you as women, especially because a lot of times people have hang-ups. How, as a woman, how do you do it all? How do you, can you just shed some light for, any female founders who will be listening? I like that you had children. Some people stop life when they have children, because they say, I'm going to have a baby, I'll do it after the baby. But I like that you're telling us you had the babies and you did it anyway. Can you just, what are some tips that you can tell that person who is trying to stop life because of having a family? How can we do it?
Hang on. Sorry, can I ask you a crazy question? I did not bring my computer with me, and can I run and get it? Like, can you talk to the people for like 4 seconds and I run and get my charger because the computer's gonna die?
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay, we can do that.
1 second.
Now quickly see. All right. So if you're online with us and you have any questions for Suzie, please ask the questions. I've not been able to get Facebook, so I'm going to try and do Facebook one more time and see our Facebook people, how they're doing as we get Suzie back on. If you have any question at all for Suzie, and this recording is going to be online again. So let me see here, Passion Profit Brands, where are you? Passion Profit Brands. I hope Facebook Live will be nice to us today.
And I'm back.
And you're back. All right. So you can carry on. I was just trying to see if Facebook will work, but we have it going on. All right. Great.
Okay. So you had asked me.
Yes.
Talking about balancing it, like, or
raising I like to say harmonizing it.
Yes. So I always say there's no word like, I mean, there's nothing like balance. I'm constantly reeling, like all day and night. I mean, it could be. I mean, I had babies and they're not sleeping all night, and I still have to be up and about and present, and for the brand and my staff, or if it's an interview, whatever. Like I can be on KTN at 6:30 in the morning, I'm like, please, my concealer better work really well today because I have big fat suitcase, not bags, suitcases under my eye.
Thank God for concealer, right?
Oh yeah, see, makeup is the guy. So yeah, so just also prioritizing, I think, is important. I've done, I kind of have done that through the years.
Okay.
And first priority is my family. As much as it should be the business, no. I mean,
Yeah.
if I don't have them, then I don't have anything, right? So I have
Yeah.
to, those guys come first. Like everyone knows, I will leave a board meeting if a child needs me to, be somewhere.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. So they prioritizing and just like knowing that I'm crazy enough to, until today, I still cook for my family like 5 times a week.
You're kidding me.
I don't know why. And I'm not because I love cooking. I'm a chef. No, I just
Yeah.
want to feed them, and I want to make sure
Wow.
that they like the food, like that type of thing. I'm a homemaker like that.
Wow. I must
But
clap for you.
if it means like between like after picking up kids, coming home, like cooking for them, get their homework done, and then I start working again at 8 when they're asleep, it's fine. I'm happy to do that. I'll manage that.
Uh-huh.
If I wake up
Okay.
at 3 in the morning and start working again, like, and do whatever I need to do, I'll manage like that.
I like
So yeah,
that.
they come first, and this will all be worked out. The rest will all fall into place.
I like that. That is a really good tip for us because they prioritize. You have chosen your priorities. Your family comes first. Whatever happens, you keep your family first. You cook for them 5 days. But I also like that you say that the hours that you work, because I find that sometimes founders keep this 8 to 5 thing that we got from when we were working on a job that we bring onto
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, and it doesn't work like
Mm.
that. You
It
have
does
20
not work.
to work the way you want so you can have the
Yeah,
time you want. You can take care of the family. Just make sure everything gets done. So I really like that you
exactly.
say that you take care of the family and you can get back to work at 8. You sleep a little bit, wake up at 3. Because this business of sleeping the whole night also, we get
If it
sleep.
doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like leave it alone. Like, I can actually there's a time like, and I also have like a bit of insomnia and stuff. So if I wake up at 2 in the morning, yeah, let me
Yeah.
get some stuff done, get some stuff out of the way, and after kids are gone to school at 8, if I need to take a nap and I have no meetings that morning, it's okay because I'll still be working that afternoon and that night and that whatever. And as long as it's not me, I'm not missing meetings and like that.
Yes.
But yeah, so just, I mean, you are the privilege of entrepreneurship is that you can make your own schedule.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
The privilege of entrepreneurship is that you can make your own schedule. That's beautiful. I'm
absolutely.
going to quote you. Thank you.
Okay.
I like that. Make your own schedule. And I'll put that on
Yeah.
Facebook and say, Suzie, fantastic.
Yes, and make it work for you
Make it
because it's
work.
hard enough being an
Yeah,
entrepreneur. So at
I'm
least there's
telling
that
you.
benefit.
I like that. And thank you so
Mm.
much. We are coming to the end of the program. We end at 9:30. I'm just going to give you some time to tell us any last minute, parting shots, any words of wisdom that you'd like to tell our listeners. Anything that you think that wisdom, that nugget that you can give an entrepreneur before we close.
Sure. I would say whatever business you're getting in, be sure that you're able to eat, live, and breathe it all day, every day, and that's what's going to keep you going. And waking up every morning to continue that grind because it is a grind and it is gritty and there's nothing simple or easy about it, right?
Right.
And then also I get a lot of requests about mentorship. Can you mentor me? You gotta find a mentor for yourself.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean call this person all day, every day. I have my number one mentor is, her name is Bobby Brown. She lives in America. I've never met her.
Really?
She started her own brand in the 90s. But I follow her, like I religiously follow her and get
Yeah.
inspired by her. So find inside of your industry what inspires you, who inspires you, and follow them and let them. You can call them your mentor because they are your mentor. They're your
Yeah,
inspiration,
absolutely.
and yeah, you look to them and follow them.
Yes, I really like that. And the funny thing is, every time I've seen Bobby Brown, I've thought about you. So it's interesting that that's your mentor. And yeah,
Yes.
the places I've said we have our own Bobby Brown. When I've been in the US, I've said that we have our Bobby Brown in Kenya. And people have looked at me like, are you mad? I've said, no, we have our Bobby Brown. She's called Suzie. And
God
they
bless
totally
you.
yeah. I didn't know
Thank
that you
you.
follow her. Yeah. So
Yes.
I've told people that I've said we have our own Bobby Brown in Kenya. She's called Suzie. Yes.
Yeah.
So now
Fantastic.
I feel like I wasn't lying.
Oh, no, awesome, awesome. This is the bow on the top of this interview. Thank you.
Wow. Honestly, I did because your work is it's so refined, it's so good, because oftentimes we look for things from outside because we want that excellence, but we have it right here. So I'm the kind of person, I believe, I talk about what I admire. I don't admire in secret. I make noise about what I admire. And I'm so glad that you were able to come and speak to us. I've admired you and followed you from afar. It has been wonderful having a conversation with you. And I
Thank
don't see any
you.
questions here. I'll just check one more time to make sure. Guys, I'm going to log off in a little bit. So if you have a question, this is your time. No, I don't see a question. Because you're pretty clear and pretty simple, I really appreciate it. We are going to have this
That's
up on our
yeah.
Facebook page, and everybody who signed up is going to get the recording, and we'll send you the recording too in case you want to cut some snippets for yourself. Thank you so
That would be
much,
great.
and we wish you a lovely
Thank
day.
you also. Thank you for having
Thank you.
me.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, all our listeners. And this is going to be sent to you on email, and you can also catch it on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Thank you. God bless you, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And end meeting.